in silence or in vibrator mode, and their seats, and take their seats. Thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. Let us first give a welcome to all from part of the university and from the STEM Week committee. It is a pleasure having you with us today to talk about this important topic. My name is Yamile Lopez, and I will serve as the moderator along with my peer, Karine Villalobos.
First, let's introduce Naomi Pineda, senior from Mechanical Engineering and International Business at Arkansas State University. She's actively involved in student leadership as the president of the Student Government Association. She enjoys dancing with the Dance World Club and playing sports like rugby and soccer. She pursues her academic goals in addition to her career as a teacher assistant in the engineering department. Please give her a round of applause.
Okay, so let us also introduce Miguel Villalobos, senior from Electrical Engineering at Arkansas State University. He is currently working as a teaching assistant for Professor Aguilar. His main responsibilities include helping students with the use of CNC machines and conducting experiments with communication systems. He is also currently collaborating on the MAVE project at the university. Please give him a round of applause.
Let's also introduce Natalia Reyes, senior from chemistry at Arkansas State University. She has excelled in research at the university and enthusiastically contributing to projects on DNMT inhibitors with Dr. Kari and carcinoids research with Dr. Bellman. Recognized for her work, she presented at the Gulf Coast Undergraduate Research Symposium. With a passion for drug discovery, Natalia is applying for a PhD in organic chemistry at Rice University. She also plans to pursue an MBA to merge her scientific expertise with business knowledge. Please give her a round of applause.
Also, let us introduce Rodrigo Regalado, senior in biotechnology with a minor in general business at Arkansas State University. He likes to hang his hammock whenever the weather allows. He had the opportunity to go on a study abroad program to Sweden and knows what it's like to repeat a chemistry class. Please give him a round of applause.
We are also pleased to present Itzel Santillan, senior from biological sciences with an emphasis on evolution, ecology, and organismal biology at Arkansas State University. She has been TA of Dr. Ramos for over 2 years. She had the opportunity to learn techniques for building a biological collection and has helped in building one at our university. During the last 2 semesters, she has been working with Dr. Miguelena on a research project regarding communities on campus. Please give her a round of applause.
Okay, now that we have presented our speakers, I now declare inaugurated the round table, and we want to remind the participants that they will have a time of 5 minutes maximum to answer their question. As stated in the agenda, we will start with the presentation round. The answers order will be the following. Number 1, Naomi Pineda. Number 2, Miguel Villalobos. Number 3, Natalia Reyes. Number 4, Rodrigo Regalado. And number 5, Itzel Santillan.
First question is, what advice would you give to incoming first-year students to best set them up for success?
Well, for starters, like to learn how to manage your time, because if you like fix and fit your schedule, you will find that you have more time than what you believe. And also to do not wait until the end of your last year to find the field of that you want to focus on. Like start early and experiencing the university offers tours, conferences, and other resources to know what you want to aim when you're graduating and to know the industries available. And Also to find and pursue a club or a hobby or a sport here in the university, because when things go wrong or are difficult, maybe that hobby will help you to cope up with anything that you are having.
Okay. So my first advice would be to start strong. Every semester, start strong. What I mean by that, you need to start studying from the very beginning. Don't leave it up until the end, because it happened to me several times actually. So I can talk from experience that, for example, I was cursing calculus too. I was failing up until the end. And the professor was actually kind enough to like have like makeup quizzes to increase our grade. So until then, I was like, no, I need to pass this class, right? So I started to learn the techniques of the class, even if I didn't understand the professor outside of the classroom, like look for several examples of the same problems. I mean, this is success for the classroom, right? Not maybe the whole career, but it's part of the career. So you need to start strong. Sorry. Well, then in the makeup exams, the professor gave us some examples to solve. That at the time of the class I didn't know how to solve, right? But studying helps you solve anything, even if the professor didn't like really taught you directly. And well, that's one thing. Outside the classroom, look for projects. I also left that until the end. Right now, in my last semesters, I'm being involved in another project in the theater, in other areas of the school that I didn't like had the opportunity, because I was like so focused on my things and only my things. I didn't look outside the classroom. So don't like study, but also take a look across all the things that the university offers, so that you don't only stay in your own. That's it.
Thanks.
Well, I think that it's also important to organize yourself. I know that we are humans and we tend to leave things until the end. But why leave it until the end if you can do it right now and if you have time? Because you don't know if tomorrow you're gonna have more homework, you're gonna have a project, you're gonna have to study for a really difficult exam. So I think that it is like a good advice to organize yourself. And if you know how to organize yourself from the first semesters, then in later semesters, you're gonna be more used to it and you're gonna have time to study, time to be with your friends, time to do a hobby, like Naomi said, like at the dance club, or there are also a lot of clubs. And it applies to everything, because as you know, we also have to do like social service and internships. So don't leave that until the end, because you don't want to, in your last semester, to be doing internships, social service, and then managing like all your last semester courses. So I think it's better if you start early and you start like preparing yourself for all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, well, yeah, I was meant to talk about precisely social service and internships, because, well, it's not fun to do it all at the end. It is fun, but not as fun as it could be, no? So my advice would be take advantage of the summers. The summers are really good opportunity, because you have like 3 months to do a lot of things. Like right now, there's like an opportunity to work in volunteering in Mérida, doing work with turtles. I would have loved to have that chance 1 year ago when I was still in summer, you know? I would have absolutely gone the whole month. So take a look at all of these opportunities, all of these chances, and as soon as you can, start taking them, because all of this works for the resume, for your curriculum, as well as having all of the activities from the extracurriculars, as well also like the clubs and some other stuff that you can do here in Arkansas. So really, that's the thing. Take advantage of what Arkansas has to offer. So from clubs to the Camp Center, for example, she knows I took advantage of that. Because of her, I passed biochemistry, so. Yeah, and also another advice I want to give is it's okay if you have to retake a class as long as you don't fail. Because I mean our majors are demanding and we are human. We don't have to be perfect all the time. Okay. So while it may be a bit of an emotional hit at first, it's okay if you have to retake a class. It's not like I'm not saying that you have to fail it. Like it's not my advice to just let it go. But if it happens, just pick yourself up, learn from your mistakes, and learn to do things differently afterwards. That would be my advice. Just take it.
Well, for me, the advice I would give you is to have a routine, but really follow that routine. I make sure to always go to sleep around the same hour, so my brain it's used to it. I try not to sleep until very late because it would mess up with my sleep schedule. And I found out that doing that helps me focus on class. And then I wake up and I feel better. And then the routine I use is after classes. If I have a lot of homework, then I do homework. But I'm patient with myself and I know that I just had a lot of homework. It's okay if I get distracted. It's okay if I need to rest between the homework I'm doing for the first hour I'm doing homework. And then I give myself to rest and take the time I need. And then I have to focus and I work until dinner. And then I make sure to never skip dinner because it's a time where I have nothing to care about school. It's just friends and having fun. It's something that I would never skip. Never skip dinner if you have dinner with your friends. That's really important, I think. And then sometimes I finish my homework before dinner, so I get to play video games with my friends after dinner. It's because I have this schedule that I follow every day that I know how to measure my times. I know which time I can use for homework. I know how much time I can use for resting. I know that if I do that, then I can reward myself with more rest. So yes, and as Natalia said, if you do that at the beginning of your career, then it's gonna get easier and you're gonna get used to it. And maybe it's difficult at the beginning, the thing of going to sleep at the same hour every day, but you end up liking it because you can see the results. Like it really makes a difference. And another thing, it's to approach the professors at the university. We are really privileged that the professors here really care about us. They're really approachable. They really always want to help. They make sure you understand everything. And if they see you're interested, they can invite you to their projects, which is amazing for your CV, for your experience, for your internship. And if not, for example, if you have issues with a class, a professor is gonna help you if they know that you have issues. They can't do anything if they don't know you're struggling. But if they know you're struggling, then they can help you. So it's really important to approach a professor when you know you have to.
Thank you very much. So the second question is, what are some strategies that you use during your major for dealing with challenging coursework?
Okay, well, at first to learn which subjects are more demanding and which not, because you don't have to invest the same time for studying for a subject that is not that demanding or so on, and the other ones, because you will find that you're wasting some time. And also to, like for big assignments, to learn to put you like milestones and set it in a small task. Because if you leave it like at the end, you will lose like creativity and or solutions and you will burn out. And well, also to find your method of studying and taking notes, because a lot of people get like with their classmates or friends to study, and for some of them it doesn't work like the same. You get distracted and so on, but just to be there with your friends and so on, you are losing your time. And also for taking notes, a lot of people take notes in their iPad, tablet, or computer, and maybe you are more of a handwriting. And then that it sticks in your mind when you're writing, and you're losing that potential when putting it on a computer or a tablet. So explore your options and learn which is best for you.
In my case, as I said, when you don't learn something in class, you can approach the professor. But if you approach the professor, because not all the professors are the same, I know they care about us, but maybe you don't understand how they teach. You can approach another professor that maybe teaches the same course, even if it's not in that semester, because that's the professors that teach a certain course. Even if they don't, like, even if they are from other areas, they could not. So you can have a professor of like a confident professor, like a professor that you're most confident with. Maybe ask them if they know. If they don't know, maybe they can recommend you another professor that isn't giving you that course, but it's also qualified to give you advice about the topic that you're having trouble about. Also, studying in groups, for me, it has worked like incredibly well. I know it's not for everyone, it could be distracting, but having like a group and focusing in the same goal, if you really focus towards solving a problem, like all of us like stare at the whiteboard and try to solve it, it's really helpful. Like a lot of kids could come up with a solution. Right? So that, also, if you're studying alone, you can also use YouTube. I mean, I don't know if you know the channel of the chemistry tutor. Yeah, it's really helpful. Even if it just shows you the basics, it's like it gives you the right direction to solve all your problems. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, well, I think it's also like what Naomi said is to know yourself, know your strengths and weaknesses, because for example, I'm not good at theory, for example. So for me, classes that are a lot about theories, they are more difficult for me, so I dedicate more time to those. And on the other hand, I like more like equations and mathematics, so I enjoy them the most. I don't need studying them that much. So I think that is also important to know yourself. And also to develop like strategies, for example, like Naomi said, taking notes or like paying attention in class. Also, if you see if you can study like alone or if it functions to you like to do it in a group. And also to don't be afraid to look for help, because I know in the first semesters it's like, no, I need to know this because I saw it in junior high. But that's not true. You can ask for help. I mean, if it is not a professor because maybe you're afraid, you can look for tutors, you can look for someone that already passed the subject, like, oh, please help me with this. And that is also like really helpful. I am part of the game center, and it's actually all we do. We help like students because we already passed those courses. So we can either give them advice or help them like with doubts that they could have. So yeah, like it's okay to ask for help as well.
Yeah. I believe that when you have a challenging coursework, it shouldn't really be that much of a surprise. Like since you start building your schedule and planning how your semester is going to go, you know how bad or how good it's gonna be. No, for example, I remember in spring 2022, I had to take microbiology with Professor Acosta, cell bio with Dr. Petris, organic chemistry 1 with Dr. Belmont, plus laboratories, of course, and French, no? So, and molecular biology with Dr. Perez also. So that semester was heavy, no? So I knew that going in. So what I did was to like block myself certain times of or spaces to try and work through the materials of each week. So of course, it wasn't like super smooth all the time. I did have to pull some all-nighters. I did have to leave some things till the end to fulfill other things. But overall, it was a semester that I really enjoyed because those were some of the best classes that I took with lots of good professors as well as with some of my friends. No, so my advice here would be, well, know yourself. Literally, as everybody else has been saying, nobody knows you unlike you. So if you know that you are good at studying in groups for, I don't know, languages, take advantage of that. And if you prefer to study alone for theory, then do that also. Take advantage of the resources of the university, as well as keep in mind that it's not all school. You also need to decompress sometimes. So leave some time for yourself. So for example, I love to go to the movies, to the cinema. So whenever I get really stressed, I be like, okay, so I organize my week and tell myself, okay, so this Monday I can go to the cinema, and that Monday I go to the cinema. I don't care if of my assignments because I already organized them. So I know when I'm gonna do it, yet I give me time for myself to decompress and relax and remind myself why I chose this career, you know?
Yeah. Important.
Well, something else that I do, it's when I have an exam or multiple exams, I count how many chapters are coming in the exam, and I make sure that I start studying so that I can study one chapter per day. So I have enough time to do hobbies in the day, study that day, hang out with friends that day, relax that day. And also, like if I wanted to go to the cinema, I can plan it so that I study 2 days, 2 chapters, go to the cinema, and then the other 2 chapters that I'm missing. I can organize the week however I want to, because I always make sure that I have the whole day, or just, if it's a short chapter, just a few hours. And that's really helpful, because sometimes if you study everything the day before, you're so stressed and you don't understand a thing, and that's gonna be confusing. So it's really helped me to study that way. And also something that my psychologist told me is that if it's horrible coursework, because we, of course, we all have a class that we dislike heavily, is to reward myself with something that I really enjoy. For example, playing Smash Bros with my friends. I could only do it if I had studied an hour of the class that day. Only, I had to be very strict. If I didn't study, I couldn't play. But if I had studied, then I got to reward myself with fun time or something that I really like to. And then it's like working so that I can get a prize. And also to really remember that even though sometimes it can be really horrible in like organic chemistry or all of those classes.
Why do you look at me?
It's the work we're doing so that we can get the degree we really want to. It's working towards something that's going to be amazing for us. It's just one class in that semester that's going to bring us amazing joy, and we can work in what we chose. And it's a way of saying it, not like, oh, I have to study for this. It's like, okay, I have to study, but I'm studying because I want to become this. It's a different focus.
Thank you so much for your responses. The third question is, what tools or technology have you found most useful as a STEM student?
I think because of the demanding of our majors, as I said before, time management. So you have to use Google Calendar or something similar, because you can plan your day and put in there your sleeping schedule, your classes, your hobbies, your meals, and so on. And you can find the spots where you can relax or put other things or so on. And also Google Calendar gives you insights in which task or thing you are spending the most time. And if you want like to lower, I don't know, your leisure time, like when you go out and you put it in your Google Calendar and you find out that you are spending a lot of time in that, you can monitor that time and you can link it with your sleeping schedule on your phone and so on. It's an amazing tool and it keeps you organized. And besides that, as a STEM student, it doesn't matter your major, you can pursue to know about some softwares in programming, designing, or mathematical modeling. Is always useful, no matter your major. Because you don't know the day that someone will ask in your class, like to, I don't know, plot something, and you only have to do it with one specific software, and nobody knows, just the professor. All of you need to go to the professor to seek for help. And then one of your classmates knows something about them, and you can divide the coursework, and that's important. There are professors that teach some classes about that, and also sometimes they put like workshops in here that are free, and other ones not, but you can go, and if you learn the basics, you have something, and then you can look for tutorials, and then it's all, you know something more than just your major.
Okay. So, a tool for me, okay, take notes on Classroom. I know we've said it already, but if you take notes, because sometimes, specifically in engineering, I see some of my classmates like just watching the professor talk and they stay like this. So if you want to, let's give an example, if you want to, this is something for Sunny told me. If you want to play like Messi, you don't watch Messi. You play and train and all that. So you need to take your notes. Like if something pops up in your mind at the time of the class, write it. It's gonna help you later. Like take little notes that help you with that specific problem. Maybe if you didn't catch the whole idea, then you at the end of the class you can ask the professor. So take notes. Sometimes you don't only, even if you're only the kind of people that learn by watching or listening, still write, because that little note may be like a refresher when you're studying. So that's helpful. Also, don't be afraid to corroborate your results with platforms in the internet, like a calculator or something, anything. It helps you a lot if you know that what you did is correct. So then you're not wondering, oh, I wonder if I did it correct. I'm gonna question someone later about it. So you could be more efficient by just doing your thing and corroborate it with a tool. Plotting software is also helpful. A lot of the time, it could help you like visualize some problems. And specifically for electrical engineering, there's some tools that simulate electric circuits. So if you're from an electronic major, and you might want to take a look at that, because most of the exams are like analyzing circuits and all that. So that's also helpful. Take a look at those if you're electrical systems.
Well, I think that it's also like now this is like organizing yourself and have like a calendar or something. I use like an app that is called Notion, and it is like really good because you can put everything in there, your subjects, your homeworks, your exams. You can put even like your finances, your calendar. You can put like anything, your diary. I think it has an option for a diary and stuff. So it really works like for everything. And it really helps you because it is, you can also have it on your phone, so it reminds you like constantly like, oh, you have this and you have that. So it is also really useful. And yeah, also like, don't be afraid to look like sources online or even take courses. Right now with internet and everyone has a computer. So there are a lot of online courses, for example, for organic chemistry or platforms that only have exercises for organic chemistry, for general chemistry. So, and also they're also really helpful when you are passing those classes. And also the calculators and stuff like that. I also take math. I have to take like until calculus 3 or even differential equations, and having those softwares like that will also help you with your questions. It's also really helpful. Yeah.
Well, for me, well, of course, your computer needs to be as good as you need it to be, because sometimes you have to run some software that is that can be a bit heavy. So you need to ask the professors like, what are you going to need in the future? So you don't have it, then start like making plans to get it, of course. Regarding tools, I am a person who learns by writing. So as mentioned before, I do see the advantages of using the computer or the laptop or the tablet. However, for me, that doesn't work. I tried it, it didn't work. So I stick with the old notebook, pen and paper. So, however, there's some classes that you cannot really do that. So, for example, we've all taken biochemistry, I think. Well, not all of us, but those of us who have taken biochemistry, we know that it's fast, super fast. So you can only write like keywords, key phrases, but that's enough. You write that and that will work for you. So as I said, pen and paper, I also keep like different clocks, different watches, to manage my time. In my room, I have, well, right now I have 2, but at one point I had like 4. So like one in the mirror, one in the desk, one in the nightstand, plus my phone and my watch, no, because I keep forgetting the time. So if I have reminders, then I can tell like, okay, so now it's time to go for dinner, no? Because sometimes even my alarms, they don't really make it for me. Like at one point I was turning off the alarm when I was still asleep. So I had to put like a waking, like an alarm clock in the desk. My roommate did not like me that semester. But yeah, like it's finding all these little tools and gadgets that can help you. For example, I also keep a lot of light in my room for technology, like to be able to have different type of moods. Like if you're studying, then I turn on some lights. If I'm not studying, I turn another light. And for software, Excel. Well, for software, Excel is super important. If you can take like a course for Excel right now, then do it. Because when you get to statistics, you will thank me. And as well, the laboratories are you need to have like a basic knowledge of statistics and how to plot the results. Besides that, well, Notion, they were already stated. Google Calendar is amazing for that. Canva, learn how to use Canva because the presentations you make there, well, if you know how to use it, then you can take advantage of it, no? And it's a really good platform for that. And not just for the presentations, but also for like your CV or some other type of posters, scientific posters. For example, Canva is really good. Also, do you remember the name of the platform to make like your your projects look like scientific papers?
LaTeX.
Yeah, learn how to use that one, especially in biochemistry and bioscience, because yeah, it's super useful. However, it is tricky to work. Also, finally, have like a web page that helps you with your references. That helps you that you can keep a list of your references and you know how to cite your work. That's also really helpful sometimes because you can just like put the link and then it will give you the reference just like that. So mostly I think, yeah, just try, test 1, 2, 3, see which one you like the most, see if it works for you. If not, look for another one. It's a process that doesn't stop. Okay, so just like be constant in finding the tools that you need.
Well, one thing that I have found is that people make quiz videos on YouTube on certain topics. For some reason, they do that, so you can watch those, and sometimes they ask questions that are very related to what we are taught, and that's useful because you don't have to make the Quizlet or anything; it's right there. Also, adding to the references pages, there are some that allow you to make them like collaborative. If you're making a lab report with teammates, you can add them and just at the end paste the references, and you don't have to be making them in particular order. There are also some apps that you can download from Google Chrome that make Google Docs in alphabetical order. So you just select your references and choose the app. It's gonna make it automatically for you, and sometimes you have like 32 references, so it's very useful. And recently I found one site that you have to pay for it. It's just one free trial, but it's literally called I don't want to watch my lectures.com. And you can upload either the videos that our professors record the class, or they upload their slides. You can upload that to the site, and with AI, it's gonna create flashcards for you with the video or the slides from your professor. And you don't have to create the quiz with yourself. Within 2 minutes, you already have all the flashcards you need, and it gives you options to play with the terms you created, use it like Quizlet, and it's very useful. It really saves up a lot of time, and I used it last semester, and it works pretty good. It really works pretty good. And if you don't want to type, I don't want to watch my lecture.com, it's also abbreviated as no, like KNOW, and then letter T.com.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, so to conclude with a round of questions, we have the last one, which is how do you manage that balancing act in terms of like social media, social life, hobbies, relationship, mental health, finances, etc.
The big one.
Well, it's difficult, like, because of schedules. I think a lot, well, in engineering, a lot of the classes are at night or like, yeah, late. Because the professors work in the industry during the day and this is their hobby, like giving classes is their hobby. And that limits like some of the options. So, well, like for having that balance, you need to set boundaries and learn when to say no, even not just no to going out to a bar, a club, or the movie. Not only that, also to the studying part, because sometimes you focus a lot on one topic and I don't know, some of the calculus classes. You are studying like during a week, but you already cover your notes, the material, the extra exercises, the quizzes and so on, and you don't have any more material to study. And if you're feeling like confident that you're going to do well and there are 2 days until the exam or the quiz, you can go out, you can be free, you can do a lot of other things. Like, do not wait don't feel like guilty for going out or taking a time for yourself before the exam. If you already study and you know the concepts, if not, you can go to the professor or your classmates. And like, keep in mind that your physical and emotional and mental health is important. Like, don't be so tough on yourself and give you time to do all of the things. And also limit your studying time, your academic part, and so you can have a personal life besides the school.
Well, for me, it's like every semester, your schedule changes, right? So you need to get to know yourself and the things you want to do during the day. For example, for me, I go to the gym a lot, almost every day. So even if I have like an hour and a half, like before my class, I want to take that hour and a half. It's not like, oh, it's only 1 hour and a half. I'm not gonna be able to do anything in that time. Almost it feels the same because almost it feels like that every day because it goes super fast, right? The day goes and goes and goes and doesn't stop, right? So, like even if it's just a moment, take that moment. Like if you're not super organized, try to start organizing yourself, your times, and that you need to do that every semester. So that is one. Then also in my case, I go to see my family at Toluca every weekend. So I need to optimize my time to do all my things, and then in the weekend relax. Like the weekend is just for relaxing. You can do how to during the week you need to give effort. Yeah, focus on your things, and in the weekend you can be free. That's it. Because during the week there's not a lot of time. That's true. So do your things in the week, and in the weekend be free.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think it's like they also previously said, and also I think it's really important like to limit yourself with the cell phone and your social media, because we all know that we get keep watching TikToks all day, but as we know that it's not good because in the end you're gonna be doing everything at the last minute. So just limit yourself. I'm gonna watch TikTok 1 hour and then I'm gonna go study because I have the difficult exam. So it's not like banishing it or like don't do it, but just like limit yourself, like be consistent also so that it gives you time for everything. With your friends, as Naomi said, it's good to set boundaries and it is okay to say no. Like I'm studying chemistry, so there were times that I had business friends that were like, oh, let's go to Red Tag like every Thursday. And I was like, I can't, like, I have to study. I have an exam, I have a homework. So it's like, it's okay to say no, and they shouldn't be mad about it, because at the end it's your career, and also like to prioritize, at the end it's your career and it's what you're gonna do probably for the rest of your life. So it's important also. For finances, that one's interesting. I think it depends also like in each one of us, because none of us have like the same maybe income, don't have the same hobbies, don't have the same everything. So just always keep some money with you. Don't spend it all, because in the then it's gonna be like, what am I gonna do? I don't have not even like 200 pesos, right? So just keep something in your accounts. That's something that I will tell you. And well, yeah, I think those are my answers.
Yeah, like, in my case, I manage the balancing act. Well, by like keeping all of the information that I needed at hand. So my like the three pillars, I guess, would be communication, organization, and as they said, boundaries. So for specifically like my relationships, with my girlfriend, my friends, I always try to be as open as possible about how it's going on, like how's my time, what I have to do, what I can't do. Fighting FOMO is really, really hard, like the fear of missing out. So you have to keep in mind that, well, this is going to be challenging, and there's some things that you can do, something that you can't do. You can try to force it and see how it goes. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Right?
Yeah.
But in the end, we also have to remember that we are young, and right now in college we have the chance to do some things that we will not be able to do later in life. No? So keeping in mind that you are young and you are studying, that as well as you're preparing for the future, you have to enjoy the present. It can seem a little bit tolling on the mental health, but that's why we have also some of these resources. No? I remember once that I wanted to go with a psychologist to see like how it's going on with my head. I didn't have the chance in the end, and I regret it a little bit. So that may be in my list for the next months. So
Before you leave.
before I have to pay for it. So my main advice would be communicate with your family and your friends and whoever you want to communicate with. Know how you like to decompress so that you are not consumed by stress. As well as budgeting. For finances specifically, budgeting is super important. Learn, define what you need to spend your money on that is mandatory. And with that, you can see how much money you have left for other stuff, you know? So some months I will not be able to go out every weekend, and another month I can like take a flight to Monterrey to see my girlfriend or go camping, you know? So it's this kind of organizational tips and tricks, that all of these little things that can let you help, that can help you have a balanced life overall. That would be my thing.
As I was saying, it does get really hard at some points. Like I don't want to scare you, but really expect it to get hard at some point. But also apply the things that we are telling you, because it's the thing we have found that help in making it less hard. So the way I try to make sure I hang out with friends is we plan in advance, like 2-3 weeks in advance, because we all are STEM students, we all have a lot of work. So that way we can make sure that we finish all our homeworks before the day we want to go out, so we don't have to be worried during the dinner or wherever we go. We have time. We really make sure we have enough time to finish things. And that helps with financing, because I know that, okay, in 2 weeks, I'm gonna go to this restaurant with my friends. So I don't have to buy a lot of things here, because I want to save that money so I can get a lot of things when I hang out with them. And also, as I told you before, and the day, go have dinner with your friends. It's 45 minutes of your time that's gonna be laughing without stressful school things. You're gonna be really hanging out with your friends every day. And if you have to have dinner very fast, 30 minutes. 30 minutes with your friends is great for your mental health. Like really, it doesn't matter how stressful school is, I will always go to dinner. And I really hope you do that too, because it's really fun hanging out with friends. And also you can complain about school with them, and you can use that time to ask them, oh, I know you know this thing, how can I do it? And they explaining, instead of using internet for 1 hour to try and understand that, your friend can explain it in 2 minutes during dinner. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Help others, they'll help you.
Yes.
Basically.
So thanks to all the speakers. We now give proper closure to the roundtable, giving the space for the public to make their questions. Please feel free to participate by raising your hand.
Yes. How did you know that your major was the one that you really wanted to do?
Good question.
Good question.
And whoever wants to participate can do. All of them.
Okay, tell us.
All of us. Let's see. You start there.
Okay, I am a bio student with the organismal blah 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 emphasis, so it's really about animals. And I knew that it's the thing for me because now that I'm close to graduation, it's happening more. But when I think, okay, I'm gonna become a biologist, like that's literally, that's my future. I'm gonna become a biologist. I sometimes start crying out of joy because wow, like I'm in science, in biology, in the animal field, and it just gives me goosebumps. And sometimes there are some courses that makes you doubt, like, is this really my thing? It's so hard. Why am I doing something if I don't enjoy it? But it's just, some things you're gonna like, some things you're not gonna like. But as long as there's something that really makes you passionate, even if it's just one thing. Biology is huge, and I'm passionate about mammals. But I had to go to cell bio, microbiology, all of that microbiology that I don't really enjoy. But then there's mammals, and I love them, and I know that I would go through all of that other things that I'm not really passionate about just for that little thing. That's how I know I am here, because I was born to be here.
That's so nice.
That was inspirational.
Well, for me, when I was choosing my major at first, I was all over the place. My three main options were history, astronomy, and biotechnology. Of course, when I took the vocational test, and they all told me you can do whatever you want, and I was like, okay, thank you. No. So when I chose biotech, it was because I had it seemed to me that it had the most of my interests. You know, a little bit of laboratory work, a little bit of science, and all of the theory behind it, as well as some functional aspects of that I could contribute to society and find a job, basically. You know, so at first, my first year or so, I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in biotech. So as I started taking more classes and more classes, I was like, okay, I can see myself in this. And right now, as I'm about to graduate, I can see myself a bit more in this. I can see myself like telling people I'm a biotechnologist and I enjoyed my career and I want to do something with it, you know? And besides, another important thing for me was, well, my minor. I'm taking minor in business, which is completely different from bio. However, I think that it really has helped me to settle on the fact that my profile is not going to be only science, it's also going to have this little piece of business besides it. So by making it more to my personal taste, to like more unique to me, I can say that my career has been the one that I would have wanted all the time.
Well, for me, since I was like in junior high, I knew I wanted to study chemistry. So because it was something that I really enjoyed, like from all of the subjects that we take in junior high, chemistry was like, I loved it. Like I'll learn. I'm like, well, I'm gonna study this then. It was really simple. And when I was here, I started to see that if you enjoy the suffering of chemistry, then it is a path for you. Because as you can see, organic chemistry is hard, biochemistry is harder.
Yes.
And so, but for example, those are the courses that I enjoy the most. So if you enjoy the suffering, is a career, is a major for you. And well, yeah, and also right now as I'm graduating, I also had the opportunity to do research. I'm currently working in 2 research projects. So that also helped me even more to focus myself like on the path. Right now I'm applying for the PhD in organic chemistry because I want to become a medicinal chemist. And that was all thanks to the research because those things you don't really see sometimes in your classes. But if you try to look for things like research, look for opportunities, it can help you even more to love what you do and to even see like what is next, what is after this, you know?
Well, for me, the suffering, no, the suffering of some classes like stop you from thinking, I'm not made for this. Like, I mean, almost, I remember like in calculus, out of 30 students, I knew that they were in the classroom from day one, only 7 passed, right? So
Yeah.
don't be like discouraged if that happens, really. It happens. But that's like a general class, right? You need to center on the classes that are for your career. If the classes that are for your career like excite you in some way, that's how you know that they are good. Like it's a good career for you. For example, for me, this week I was working with robots communications. I was so excited when I was just controlling the robot with Bluetooth. I mean, I was just. So if it makes you feel a little bit better, like if you do these things, that's how you know you're in the correct place. I want to say something.
Well, I didn't knew what to study. Like, I think in my last semester of high school, and it was very difficult and frustrating. So then I went for the safe option, and I entered here with international business. And I found that I liked that major, but I was missing the difficult part. And since I was little, I liked mathematics, and I went to competitions and to nationals. But when my father questioned like me, you want to be a mathematician, and he told me like you need to find the solution of equations and so on. And when he was telling me about all that, I said that I was not made for that. And then he told me, well, I'm an engineer. You can keep with the business part, but you can try engineering. And I keep both majors, and now I am double majoring in international business and mechanical engineering. And like I like from international business the part of the business, the marketing strategies, and going with the customer and the consumers and so on. And in mechanical, I found that I want to know how the things are made, and I didn't like analyze that until I was already in the major, because before when I was little, I get to destroy bicycles, radios, and a lot of stuff to know what was inside. So there are little things on your life that that give you hints about what you want to do later on. So you can explore, and yeah, maybe it's your passion.
Thank you very much. Do we have another question?
What was the best teacher, professor, doctor that you have ever had?
Ever? Like not in university, ever?
Oh, here.
So we go for the same one.
Well, it's because I'm majoring in biosciences, of course, it's gotta be either Dr. Ramos or Dr. Miguelena because it's the only ones we got. I've developed a close relationship with Dr. Ramos because he teaches more courses that I've been in, and I've been his TA for 2 years. And I think his classes are very hard sometimes, so that helps me to push myself more and learn more. And yeah, sometimes I get angry at him because it's like, why are you so hard? But then it's like, okay, but then I learned this, I guess. And well, that's on the science part. But for example, for the Gen X, Professor Strong, she's so good. She's extremely good at teaching. I wish she was a science teacher because she's really good. So if you have a chance to take math comm or philosophy with her, really do so because she's great. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's a hard question because I never liked it. I've never for myself. No. I never liked the concept of a favorite professor. I mean, you know, for me, each professor has their own unique thing that they can offer. You know, so of course there are some professors that are more complete than others. You know, I don't know how to say it. But I can tell you that I've learned the most from Dr. Belmont, Dr. Petris, Dr. Perez, because well, with them I've taken the most classes, of course, no? So from the chemistry, also from Dr. Surto, I've learned a lot. You really need to find which one suits you the best. Also from Dr. Katia, I've learned a lot, especially how not to
Fail.
Especially what happens when you have to retake the course. I learned that with Dr. Katy. And it's things that stay with me, you know. Some professors, they will teach you some resilience, and other ones you will understand perfectly. Some others you will not understand at all. But in the end, they can all teach you, even if not from the course, about yourself. So yeah, that would be my answer.
Yeah. So well, I think that I also don't like favorite professors because for me it's right now hard since besides me there's only another chemist that is graduating. So right now I have a close relationship. We're only two, yeah. yeah, it's crowded. The classes are really
You're not gonna be alone in the picture.
Yeah, so for example, last week I had to take all of my exams alone because my other the other student was sick, so it was me and the professor. So right now I have a close relationship with all the chemistry professors because of that. But I think that the ones that I have learned the most is also Dr. Katy because I'm in her research project. I was with her in many classes, and she really teach me a lot about the life and the lab as well. And also Dr. Belmont, he has been with me, I think that's in my first semester, so we have also a really close relationship, and he's also really good at explaining chemistry. So if you have any doubts, you can also go with him. He's really good. And well, yeah, I think those two are the ones that I can relate with the most.
For me, it's Dr. Rosani. It's pretty good at maintaining their focus and their attention. Gives his classes in a way you can understand. I always exit the classroom excited because I understood. I mean, it also reassures you that maybe you're not gonna see all of this or apply all of this in your career. They just want you to know because it's important. You need to be professional and know. It almost feels like you're playing. I don't know how to explain it. It's pretty good. He's also my advisor, so on. So I have a close relationship with him.
I would say that Dr. Cosani as well and Dr. Ramirez, because they are Dr. Ramirez is the director of engineering, so he knows things and also makes the classes fun. And also he knows a lot about the industry and the industries here in Querétaro and companies. So he is really helpful with all of his contacts and so on. So he can talk about and give you advice about how much you should ask for a salary. Like these specific tasks are for your like your major or your position. And yeah, he in classes he not only like taught us about the topics and so on, he gives us the ones that we need and the other ones are not like important. And in the classes, he will also tell us about the life that we are expecting after university. So that's super helpful. And that's why. And also Dr. Posan, because I think Dr. Posan is more for the electrical side because he's an electric. So yeah, I don't see that. I don't see him like that frequently because of that.
Yeah, nowadays he doesn't give a lot of classes.
A lot of classes.
Yeah, but if you have a class with him, pretty good.
There's another question in the program.
I think you had a question, right? The one in green. Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough time.
I mean,
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah, okay. So, how do you deal with dismotivation?
Okay, so going to therapy is a huge part of it. We have one here that's free. I haven't been with her, but it's free, so you can try. I try to talk with my friends, the closest friends I have, because I know for a fact that they love me. That's why we are friends. And they really have very sweet words when you meet them. Like they will tell you, okay, you feel that way, but blah, 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 blah. And sometimes they tell you things that you haven't thought about. And sometimes those things help. Yeah, and also, for example, earlier today, I went with Dr. Juarez. She's great. Like, if you need to talk to her, she's a great person. She knows how to listen. She gave me tea when I talked to her this morning. So if it's something academic that you're really struggling with, like not in a class, just like valuing yourself or something, I recommend if you're confident enough to go with her because she has experience in science. She knows how it is to be a person that has insecurities, issues, being in university. So, and if it's not Dr. Juarez, any professor that has had experience with that, then you can ask because they overwent it. Like they're here for a reason. They know how to get through those things, and if not, I think they can give very good advice.
Yeah, for me specifically, looking back at the times when I had to retake a course, that definitely grew on that. But the support I had from my family and my girlfriend and my friends, it was the most important thing at that point. Like that's what helped me go back and take it again and pass. No, also whenever it's something like not as serious as not passing a course, I like to clear my head. When do activities that are not related to the topics that I'm feeling demotivated about. So, for example, as I said, go to the movies or exercise a little bit, you know. So just like find the peace to like give myself time to process the feeling, and once it's processed, like see where it came from and see how I can like let it flow, and then remember or remind myself of why I'm doing this. So first I let myself feel it, then process it, and then find the source, and then find something that sort of counteracts against it. So if I'm feeling bummed out because there may not be enough water later in the world, then I just remind myself that there's still a possibility, So for example.
I think it's important to have a support system, like as he said, like having friends, your family. You can also rely on your family, like like tell them how you're feeling, also your friends. even like your boyfriends or girlfriends as well. I think they're also a really good support system. Like, for example, my boyfriend also studied chemistry, so he already knows what it's like. He already lived through that also, so he also really helps me when I'm not, when I am not motivated. And also, I think that you can tell yourself it's okay, it's gonna pass, then, but don't leave it there. Make something to improve. Like, for example, if you failed your the midterm, it's okay, well, I failed it, but what am I gonna do to fix it? Because it's midterms, you still have the opportunity to make it better and to work and to change the outcome of what you did. So yeah, I think it's also like that.
Okay, for example, in my case, when I first arrived to the university, I was pretty bummed because I didn't know nobody. I like stuck in my room and cried and be bounced nobody. So, I mean, remember yourself, persons that support you again. Like you need the space and time to process emotion. But let's see. Do things that clear your mind. And I'm remembering those times. Okay, so go out with friends. Like don't stay in your room. Don't be alone. Actually, that helps a lot. If it's about coursework or a class, then again, like, put in the effort. Like solve some exercises or something. Right now, I don't have a concrete answer to that because I also felt it, and I think sometimes I feel it as well. So
We still feel it sometimes.
But I mean, just start small, right?
yeah,
Like,
Start with small things.
like if it's a really big homework and you don't know what to do about it, and it's already time to do it, and you just can't. Start small, like he said, like a couple of exercises, and then you can get on a roll, and that way you can solve it.
Well, like, I think that everyone passes through that, and also professionals. So you can find a professor that you feel more like acquainted. You can go and ask for that specific situation that you're not motivated, like with your major, with this class you turn, and they will tell you how they feel when they went through that. And also you can have advice from that, and to feel like a company, a empathy, because if you keep that feeling inside of you, it will like haunt you, and you have to release it in a way. So talking, you can cry, but like look for something that gets you out of that. And yeah, you can look for a professor. If your friends like don't get it, you can go for a professor and they will tell you something like that.
think about it until like you come to a point that you think you're a little bit more comfortable with, and then from there, like try to forget it a little bit. Yeah, that's.
Thank you very much. So now we would like to thank the exam given to all of our participants, and with this, we can give a proper closure to this roundtable. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you next year with another roundtable edition. And yeah, have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Yo ya sé las Sí. Como se me dice, te voy a reprobar, pero
Sí, lo movió bastante.
La llave motivada.